double platinum playthrough for Dragon Age Inquisition. And we're at the point now where we're about to make the big choice of whether to side with the mages or with the templars going forward, and finishing up the Haven quest line and moving the story forward. So for this episode, in this Nightmare playthrough, we're going to side with the mages. I find, so whichever side you choose to ally with, you'll be fighting the other side in the last battle. So I find it easier to beat the Templars on Nightmare difficulty than beating the mages on Nightmare difficulty. So right now we're picking up all the reports that are done.
All right.
You see we have a couple more over here. Pick up a shield, some gold and some iron. So we're pretty much done over here now. There's, as you can see, all these say completed. There's nothing else we can do at this point. We could go to the Forbidden Oasis right here and do some work. We already stopped in there, but kind of really no need at this point. Let's go back to the Ferelden side. So we just started on that one. This is Champions of the Just. That's if you're siding with the Templars. We're not. So we want to go back to the hinterlands and finish our quest. So now we will venture forth. Take Cassandra as our tank. We'll take Varric. And we will take Solus for this one. No Iron Bull. You might think against mages a bunch of melee guys just is good, and that's generally the case, but if you're siding with the Templars, but we're not, we're siding with the mages, so we want to have more mages in our party. And at least for this first part, what we want to do is have Varric with us as well, so we can open some chests and things like that that become available to us. And then we will load up with mages in the last half of the quest. So here we are launching into the hinterlands. Don't forget to follow and friend us on Twitch. It's much appreciated. We enjoy having you guys in chat and talking it up. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to like the videos and subscribe to our channels. Again, much appreciated. It helps us to continue to bring you this content. Helps us bring you this content, as I was trying to say, these platinum trophies and how to get them. We're also working on Greedfall, which is a very difficult platinum trophy. So we will also show you some more difficult ones to get. So right now, while we have an opportunity, we will level up Varric. He's got 1 point. And we'll expand on Explosive Shot. And the only thing left is this one from above if he's at height, which is not something that happens that often. And then we could go over here into Sabotage. Also, there's some good stuff. You can see we already have some poison ones. These caltrops, these ones are good poison weapons. Infect wounds, we get more damage from them. The passives are pretty good, which is like why I like using them. Um, and then this one, cheap shot, when we get a critical with our bow weapons, it allows us to sunder armor, which helps our tanks and everybody else. Magic damage avoids it, but it helps our tank do more damage, which is always a good thing. And then if you're more of a melee rogue, this is a good spell ability for you. Throwing Blaze is a nice ranged one, and Toxic Cloud is a good one. So we will advance on these ones with Varric as we go. All right, so quickly we'll check the map, and you can see we still have some. This is the Red Lyrium quest, which is Varric's quest. We need to destroy those. There's a few of them. Here's one way over here as well. There's some rifts left. We'll come back and deal with those later. And then there's In Hush Whispers, which we need to continue on with. So since we have Varric with us, we're going to go ahead and take care of this Red Lyrium one over here. So we'll travel to Dwarfsen Pass Camp, and then we'll head over to the Red Lyrium and take that out. It's inside that cave we had been to before. We saw the Red Lyrium. That's where we got the quest. Well, we didn't get the quest, but we got the preliminary information for it, and then we talked to Varric, who gave us the quest after that when we talked with him in Haven. So now that that's all lined up, we can just jet over there, destroy the Red Lyrium, and then we'll jump across the map over to Red Cliff and move forward with our main quest. And hopefully at our level 11, we should not have too difficult of a time with this last battle that's coming up. It is a fairly difficult one. It's one of the last ones you'll find difficult in this game. While you're playing at Nightmare difficulty, by the way. Most everything else you'll come across will be cake. By this point, you'll be powerful enough that it won't be a huge challenge for you, or at least shouldn't be a huge challenge for you. You may stumble here or there once in a while, but don't sweat it. It's not a portent of things to come. You'll still do well. So you just need to follow along with the playthrough and my video guides here, and we will get you through all the difficult parts without a whole lot of trouble. So here we are, coming up on the cave. Just grab some Drakestone while we're at it. Oh, I thought there was some. And some more Drakestone. Drakestone. Stuff doesn't count against your carrying capacity. So as you go, you'll want to have the opportunities for a variety of upgrades. Okay, there we go. Destroyed. Varric approves, so it helps our companion rating with him. shouldn't be anything left in here, but let's just take a quick round. Good to go. As I suspected. Okay, if you want to grab some more Drake Zone, there was some more in there that we left. So you can see there's some more red lyrium over there. So let's head to the Upper Lake Camp and we'll go get that other lyrium that's available for us to smack down. And then the other one that was on the map, we're just going to have to leave for later. That's where the dragon is, and at our level, we're in no shape to be taking on dragons. So if you want to go over there and give it a try and see what it's like to get spanked down, um, jump in there. Play how you'd like. It's all fun. And I believe we needed a bunch more Blood Lotus for one of our upgrades, our potion upgrades. So we'll make some rounds down here and then up above. So the only thing I wish it had that this game doesn't have is some kind of tracking mechanisms for your upgrades that you'd like to be doing. And then it could tell you if you were there or not. You know, like if you could pin it to your interface or something like that. Really shouldn't be grabbing any more iron. We have more than we know what to do with already. Elf root, we always need this because it replenishes our potions every time we rest, in case you've forgotten, which I doubt you have, but for those of you that may be coming in later to this video series, just trying to help you out. We're just snagging a bunch of Blood Lotus. I don't know, that's 7 or so. I think we needed 13, so we still have quite a bit to go. Blood Lotus there. Blood Lotus here. And unlike the other game we're playing at the time now, with the very difficult Platinum Trophy, Greedfall, you can jump in this game. In that game, you cannot jump. So when you walk into an obstacle, the obstacle is there for real. You have to figure out your way around it. I would advise some of you that are trophy hunters and want to have some better than average platinums. I suggest you grab onto that video guide, game guide, and playthrough. We'll show you how to get the platinum for Greedfall as well. It is difficult. It is not an easy platinum to get. If you check out all of the stats on it, you will see that it is not. There's not a lot of people with the platinum trophy. So it's gonna take some work. You might get pissed off. You might want to rage quit it at some points because there's some difficult combat on the extreme difficulty. Won't lie to you about that. It is not going to be something easy for you to accomplish. But you get that done, it'll look good all over your resume. So I would definitely advise, if that's your speed and if you have the patience for it, if you're kind of an FPS person, um, it'll be a little easier for you. It doesn't have tab targeting, but it does have lock-on targeting. Um, but you have to be able to dodge and parry and evade decently. You don't have to be great at it. I'm not. If you've been following any of my videos, you'll know this. Um, but I'm able to do well in that game. And if I can do it, you can do it. So I would definitely suggest checking it out. I can put a card in this video to give you a link to it. Which should help. Oops. Couple of roots. Let me grab them.
Milady.
Some loot. You can see the red lyrium in here. We'll go take care of that. Boom. Varric approves again. So now we're 2 of 12. You can see on the quest. Again, there's another one in the area of the dragon. I don't recommend that you try and take care of that one now. But conceivably you could if you had wanted to. So it would be easy enough for me to fast travel right now over there. But I want to try and grab some more blood lotus if it's around. A lot of freaking spindleweed. Alright, so we'll just zippy doo dah on our way. Elf root, pick that up. You don't have to, I'm just talking you through it. There's a bunch of iron, we're not picking up any of that. We're in such good shape with it. I guess what you could do if you want is switch over to the journal. We can't do this one right now. Some embryo, worth picking up. Some point along the line, you'll discover that you don't need much of these herbs and stuff, these flowers anymore, other than elf root. So you can stop picking them up and you can just sell them. All that is good. No harm, no foul, right? As I say, this, like I said, it doesn't count against your weight capacity or anything else. Just enables you to do some crafting, if you will, or some upgrading of potions. And also, I think I mentioned it in a earlier video. You need to, for one of the trophies, once you get to Skyhold, there's a garden, and you need to plant. You're gonna have to collect seeds from each of these plants. So you're gonna have to be collecting these anyways. If you wanted to jump ahead a little further, or get yourself a little more of a head start, you could go back to Storm Coast and pick up some more of the prophet laurels. You'll need a bunch of them. But they're not particularly plentiful there. You can grab a couple, but it's quite a bit of running around for that, which I'm not sure at this point is worth your effort. And we don't have the deft hands one, so we can't pick those up.
We should search
Can't
the
pick that
area.
lock. Or the other one that's around.
True enough.
You see our minimap glowing because we're kind of close to those two. So I think, as I mentioned before, it is a perk worth having. Let's stop in on the healer. She's in the background here. Oh, we need to go talk to what's his face as well, now that we have the healer. So let's do that since I forgot about it. Corporal somebody or other in the crossroads. So let's travel back to the crossroads. Apologies for that, but you might as well get him as an agent as well. But the more agents you have, the more powerful you are, more influence. All that stuff helps as you go through the game, just raising your baseline of the strength of your character and the power of your group, which is always a good thing. So you just want to run up this little path here. There he is. Corporal Beavis. Corporal Vale, because he's in the Vale.
Thanks to you, these refugees are safe, with warm clothes and food in their bellies. The Inquisition might be able to make use of them. If you had a mind to.
What are you suggesting?
We could ask the best and brightest to join the Inquisition. They would serve well. Just as easy to put them to work, or look at the whole thing as an act of charity.
The Inquisition can always use skilled volunteers.
These people have been through a lot. They could use a little charity.
If we spread word of the Inquisition offering help freely, we would win the loyalty of every peasant in Ferelden.
So that's your choices. You can gain some power, gain some gold, or you can get new agents. So we're going to take agents. Everybody approves.
See if any of them want to volunteer.
I'm sure we'll get some good recruits out of it. I'll go now and set things up with the refugees. But thank you again. These people are alive because of you. None of us will forget that.
All right. Get a little cutscene now that we've recruited him. Any power slides along the ground there. Agent acquired. Influence boosted by 50. Power +1. We know this already. And now let's fast travel back to Redcliffe. And we'll get busy moving along the main quest. And then we will address things like the Forbidden Oasis and things like that. There's parts of the Forbidden Oasis that are beyond our ability to do, and we don't have a lot of shards yet. There is a trophy for opening the temple there all the way, but we can't do that yet. We don't have enough shards. It takes 108 shards to do it, and we're nowhere near that. We have, I don't know, 30, 25, 30, something like that. Anyway, so head up here to the Chantry where we're supposed to meet Felix. And let's get our cutscene and move the story forward. about guardsmen. You can read about the first Inquisition, from which ashes we were born, and a study of the fifth blight. So here we go. Hope everybody's doing good out there, having fun, playing your Dragon Age Inquisition and getting a platinum trophy for it. We're gonna be doing this one a while, and Greedfall. Both of them are big games, big open world games that take a lot of time to get through them, especially when you're doing 100% playthrough like we are. Greedfall will actually take 2 playthroughs. The second one on Extreme, we won't do as much exploring and stuff as we will on the first one.
Good. You're finally here. Now help me close this, would you?
All right, sir. Happy to do that. Let's get close enough to the rift so we can do some damage too. If they weren't up my ass, like always. One down, another down. Okay, wait for the next group to spawn. And let's try and disrupt them before they get too much of a head start. Knocked on our hind end. That's okay. This fight isn't that tough. It's meant to be easy and just move the story forward. And we meet our new companion, or gonna be companion, Dorian, another mage.
Fascinating. How does that work exactly? You don't even know, do you? You just wiggle your fingers and boom. Rift closes.
Who are you?
Ah, getting ahead of myself again, I see. Dorian of House Parvus, most recently of Minrathous. How do you do?
Another Tevinter. Be cautious with this one.
Suspicious friends you have here. Magister Alexius was once my mentor, so my assistance should be valuable, as I'm sure you can imagine.
I was expecting Felix to be here.
I'm sure he's on his way. He was to give you the note, then meet us here after ditching his father.
Alexius couldn't jump to Felix's side fast enough when he pretended to be faint. Is something wrong with him?
He's had some lingering illness for months. Felix is an only child, and Alexius is being a mother hen, most likely.
Are you a magister?
All right, let's say this once. I'm a mage from Tevinter, but not a member of the Magisterium. I know Southerners use the terms interchangeably, but that only makes you sound like barbarians.
Okay, so now we got the questions out of the way. Let's ask these ones.
You're betraying your mentor because...
Alexius was my mentor, meaning he's not any longer, not for some time. Look, you must know there's danger. That should be obvious even without the note. Let's start with Alexius claiming the allegiance of the mage rebels out from under you. As if by magic, yes? Which is exactly right. To reach Redcliffe, before the Inquisition, Alexius distorted time itself.
I hope that's less dangerous than it sounds.
More. That is fascinating if true, and almost certainly dangerous.
The rift you closed here. You saw how it twisted time around itself, sped some things up and slowed others down. Soon, there will be more like it, and they'll appear further and further away from Redcliffe. The magic Alexius is using is wildly unstable, and it's unraveling the world.
You're asking me to take a lot on faith.
I know what I'm talking about. I helped develop this magic. When I was still his apprentice, it was pure theory. Alexius could never get it to work. What I don't understand is why he's doing it. Ripping time to shreds just to gain a few hundred lackeys?
He didn't do it for them.
Took you long enough. Is he getting suspicious?
No, but I shouldn't have played the illness card. I thought he'd be fussing over me all day. My father's joined a cult, Divinta Supremacists. They call themselves Venatori. And I can tell you one thing. Whatever he's done for them, he's done it to get to you.
Alexius is your father. Why are you working against him?
For the same reason Dorian works against him. I love my father, and I love my country. But this? Cults? Time magic? What he's doing now is madness. For his own sake, you have to stop him.
It would also be nice if he didn't rip a hole in time. There's already a hole in the sky.
Why would he rearrange time and indenture the Mage Rebellion just to get to me?
They're obsessed with you, but I don't know why. Perhaps because you survived the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
You can close the rifts. Maybe there's a connection. Or they see you as a threat.
If the Venatori are behind those rifts or the breach in the sky, they're even worse than I thought.
Do you have any suggestions?
You know you're his target. Expecting the trap is the first step in turning it to your advantage. I can't stay in Redcliffe. Alexius doesn't know I'm here, and I want to keep it that way for now. But whenever you're ready to deal with him, I want to be there. I'll be in touch. Oh, and Felix, try not to get yourself killed.
There are worse things than dying, Dorian.
Alrighty. So there we go. And there's nothing else really we can do in here. Come to the back. Get some loot. Nothing really special. We missed one. There you go. And some more lore. Again, there's nothing else. We can read that one. Nope. Alright, so let's head on out. So you could, if you wanted, start the templars side quest. And get to the same point where it's telling you go to the war room, and then you can pick which side you want. If you want to see kind of both sides of the story, or the setup for both sides of the story, I would recommend doing that. Gives you a little sense of where it's going, plus you get some experience points and things like that that are helpful at this point. But for the expediency's sake in these videos, I am going to skip doing that. And we'll just head on back to the war room. We'll check our level first and see where we are. If we're close to a level, we may do some additional items, questing and things like that. So we'll be good. All right,
This
now we're
whole
back up.
business is distasteful. Perhaps we are better off pursuing the Templars instead.
We may not have time. The breach will not wait for deliberation.
And there it is. You see Cassandra mentioning that you could go now talk to them, the Templars, and check out that side if you would like. being, I can't really tell where we are. The journal, that's where we are with that one. This one, same kind of deal. Nothing we can do there. Fallow Mire. There's one more artifact we can get there and close that one out. A bunch of stuff in the Forbidden Oasis. And then here we just have, we still need the Velveteen, which is kind of a pain in the ass. The Philandris we have to get in another zone and bring back to this zone to close this one out. Otherwise, we can attempt to attack these rifts, which isn't really worth it at this point. So we're pretty much left with trying to even get some Velveteen or heading back to the war room. So heading back to the war room it is. I'm going to run a little bit here so we can loot some supplies. You can just fast travel around if you want, but I'm also hoping we get a little bit lucky and find the Velveteen we need. You can actually get it in any zone. It drops from random mobs, bandit style mobs. Bandit style mobs. B-A-N-D-I-T, not D-I-D, bandit. I know we're a bunch of lazy people with the English language. But let's try and not butcher it too much. Yeah. So anyways, back we go. There's some more elf fruit over here. Grab it if you want. They're all blah blah. And there's, if you remember, there's a chest up there too, which takes a little effort to get to. Not bothering to do so. We're in pretty decent shape. Before we kick off the last battle, what we will do is we will look at upgrading all of our possible gear to make it as strong as possible. Weapons, armor. We do have some good patterns now, some additional patterns that will help us out. So it doesn't look like we're going to get jumped by any bandits or thieves, both of which will drop the Velveteen for us. So we might just want to jump back up to the upper lake camp, grab a bunch more Blood Lotus, and then be on our way to the war room. So what do you say we just do that, guys? Upper Lake Camp. So yeah, it's a little bit of a stally mess here, but it advances the story anyways, and we'll probably break this into two videos, two streams. The first will be getting all the prep done, and then the second one will be firing off the last the quest, the In Hushed Whisper siding with the mages quest, and going through all that, and then doing the battle at Haven. It's a pretty long, involved battle, by the way, so it does take some time, and it's a good marker point. So rather than having one 3 or 4 hour stream, we'll break this into a couple. This one will be about an hour long, and then that one will be however long it is, an hour or two. Also, it allows any of you that are out there and just want some help getting through certain sections. It makes it a little bit easier for you. I understand that. Like boss fights and stuff, I try to put those into separate videos by themselves or in the very beginning of some videos, so that you only have to watch that part and then you can go on and play the things you want to play and how you want to play, etc., etc. I try to be respectful of your time and your play style with that. I know when I'm perusing guides by other people, I appreciate when they do that as well. Separate some stuff off to make it easier to find what I'm looking for. And that happens in a lot of, for me, FPS games, because I'm not a huge, as I think I mentioned a number of times before, a huge FPS person. So I need help with those occasionally. So I'm appreciative of the people that put out those videos and help people like me. But for those of you that need some guides with RPGs and such style games, I'm glad to supply you the playthroughs and guides to help you get the trophies for that, especially on the nightmare or extreme difficulties, very hardest ones. Sometimes there's just some little tricks and things that I can show you that you might not have seen before or might not know. So get some royal elf root. Alright, I think we've got enough blood lotus, so let's quest map, world map. Head back to Haven. And move this one along a little bit here. What y'all say? The first Inquisition we see in the Forbidden Oasis. That one shows up now because we have found it. And then Master Garion Alexius. That one's popped up before, but if you want to know about him, you can read all this. It's nice in these loading screens, they give you some background. Help kill the time for you. And while you're killing time, why don't you go ahead and friend and follow us on Twitch? Much appreciated. Like our videos on YouTube and subscribe. Love to see you there. And hopefully this loading screen kicks it off here. And if there's anything in particular, any game in particular you'd like me to show you in the way of platinum trophies, let me know in chat or comments on my videos. And we'll definitely do some of those that the crowd would like to see. I think I mentioned before we're going to do some more double platinums after we finish up this one. We got Deus Ex Human Revolution coming, BioShock 1, 2, and 3, and Wolfenstein The New Order. We might jump into like Crisis 3 or Crisis 2, maybe some Fallout 3 while we're doing some of these older ones. Along with the newer stuff. Let me dump stuff off here. Yeah, we should make sure we're passing out some of these. So we're going to have to check out some of this stuff. Can already slash our group. We can take this off. But you can see we have superior legs and arms, which will probably help us out. And look at that, 160. Nice. Okay.
Anything you can spare will help the wounded.
There we go. So let's check in case there's another song. I think we've grabbed all of them that are possible. The rest we have to find out in the world or after we get to Skyhold. There'll be a couple more. There's some minstrels and some people around Skyhold that can help us out. So let's see if we grabbed enough Blood Lotus now. This one takes Prophet Laurel. We don't have that. Let me check healing. I didn't think this is the one we need. No, Prophet Laurel. Lyrium Potion. This is our Mage Potion. Nothing we can do with that one right now. Tonics. Offense. Damage against barrier. Critical damage. I'll take the same thing. Rock armor. A lot of these take Rash Vine and that we don't have. Let's check the grenades. Again, nothing we can do there. Try our bees. Oh, look at that. We can either increase the panic or we can't do duration because we don't have a wither stock, but we can do this one. So panic chance increased, so that helps us out. Let's head off to the war room.
Blessed are the righteous, the lights in the shadow. The Baker's will is written.
Apothecary Adon will have more poultices for the injured as soon as possible, revered mother.
All right, so before we go in and do all this, I'm going to call it a stream right here. Like I said, it's almost an hour in, so that we will continue our siding with the mages and do our Haven battle and everything else in one fell swoop. But anyway, so here we are. I'll do a save. Make sure to friend and follow us. I know I've said it before. On Twitch, loved having you in chat and talking to you. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. And this one is for the big Harls, and we will see y'all next time.